गुड इवनिंग एंड वेलकम टू गना शॉट। गना शॉट में आप सबका स्वागत है। Today we're going to do a reappraisal of Pakistan post Op Sindoor. And this capital idea I got from General KJ Singh. Sir, good evening and welcome to Gana Shot once again. It's been a long time since we interacted on this on my
Uh,
platform.
Good evening, Jai Hind, and thank you for bringing this wonderful topic for discussion.
Yeah. Uh, Let me put things across to everyone as to why we came about this topic. In fact, this idea was of General KJ Singh, and then the moment he said it, it just bought into me. See, before Op Sindoor, everyone thought Pakistan was a finished game. It didn't matter. It's going to go down the line. It's going to disintegrate and all that. But post Op Sindoor, the scene has changed completely. A big change in the visage of Pakistan and how it's behaving in international affairs and all that. Now, the thing which begs the question is, why didn't we foresee this earlier? Why didn't we track this, shift coming earlier? Why didn't we track the moment of, the way this guy was behaving, this newly appointed field marshal was behaving? And then we came to the, thing that look, in India, everyone is an expert on Pakistan, and everyone is, has taken Pakistan for granted. Whereas not many of us are experts on China, so we take an effort to learn about China. So is this caught us somewhere? Because we take an effort to learn about China, so we are cautious about China. We presume that we know everything about Pakistan, and it has caught us flat-footed to a large extent. The way I look at it, probably if we had a regulated or a coordinated approach to Pakistan, oh, everything about Op Sindoor would have been much more different. I'm not decrying the fact that we had a splendid victory about on Op Sindoor. It was one of the best victories I've seen. Demonstrable, clean, surgical. But then you have to look behind it, beyond it. And you have to look beyond it in the strategic construct which is emerging and how you have to handle this whole situation. Right. I think I've spoken enough. General KJ, sir, with this as a background, I request you to take it on. You're all yours,
Uh,
sir.
Jai Hind, friends. Firstly, let me do my statutory duty of reminding you that this channel is finding a lot of traction, and it'll be a good idea for you to subscribe, to contribute, to follow it regularly, and introduce it to your friends. Now, the central theme of why we came to this discussion today is we are not disputing that we've had a fantastic victory or a conclusive delivery of message to Pakistan. Very conclusive. Initially targeting the terrorist infrastructures, and when they up the ante, then telling them that nothing in Pakistan is beyond our reach. Their strategic headquarters, their air force installations, their uh, somehow it is not come out much in discussion, but the dossier put out by Pakistan also says that the two infantry brigade headquarters of Pakistan were also destroyed. And there are a couple of, this is Pakistan. I have got no information from our side as such. The couple of border observation posts have also been obliterated. So it's a very comprehensive message delivered to them. But then what happens is in this in this bravado, in this feeling of having won, having delivered the message, we lower our guard. We sort of don't look at strategic consequences that are important for us. So let me start by flagging the first thing. See, we have lot of think tanks which are oriented towards China. At a operational or strategic level, we have a China study group, a group of Chinese experts, of experts on China, sinologists, who know, most of them know Mandarin. And these people regularly, I know, interact with our military operations and layout. Actually, you've all heard of patrolling points on line of actual control. Who laid down patrolling points? About 60 of them. The China study group. Who decided the roads which will be built over there? The China study group. And then there are think tanks. There is a think tank which is affiliated with MEA, Center for Contemporary Chinese Studies. It is funded, regulated by Ministry of External Affairs. And then there are other think tanks, plenty of them. But where is a think tank to study Pakistan? Everybody is studying. But is everybody studying the correct approach? Because everybody wants to study the issue which is in focus. So when Bangladesh comes in focus, you start studying Bangladesh. When China comes into on our uh, border in Ladakh, so we start focusing towards Tibet. So there is a need, in my perception, to have a dedicated, focused Pakistan operation group and Pakistan oriented study group. Even in our universities, you do not have enough. There are, like in Northeast, there are universities which have Himalayan study departments and all this. But we hardly have any department. I have not seen any center for Northwestern studies, or that kind of a center. I have not seen come across it. I may have missed out, but I have not come across. So there is a need to do that. And why I want to, while I'm at it, I also want to further build on this thing. See, when uh, we got partition from Pakistan, there was an air of romanticism. We called Pakistan frenemy, friend, come enemy. There were phases where Vajpayee ji went to Pakistan. Even our current Prime Minister went to Pakistan. Is nothing against it. But he tried to reach out to these people. So everybody has tried. Manmohan Singh didn't go, but he's supposed to have considered more than others, as people say. So everybody, and then we've had Aman Ki Asha and Candlelight and all those kind of people also. So in this, there is a need to separate this romanticism with operational and strategic kind of study. Do that, no problem. And in that, I also want to advocate that Pakistan has certain languages which I call as strategic languages. Like we all know Balti, which is spoken in Gilgit Baltistan, uh, Sindhi, which is spoken in Sindh, the Persian and Darri, Pushto, which are spoken in parts of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Balochistan. But then what we often do not realize is that in Punjab, when we got separated into two countries, before we got separated, there were two versions of Punjabi. One was Gurmukhi, which was written in what is now seen in what Sikh scriptures are there. It's a different script. And then there is something called as Shahamukhi. Now, Shahamukhi, most of the people who came from Pakistan knew it for 10, 15, 20 years. It was known. Because Shahamukhi is nothing, no rocket science. It is spoken Punjabi, written in Persian script. That's Shamukhi. And don't confuse it with language of rulers. Some people said this is language of rulers, colonial. No, no. It is language of Bulesha and those Sufi saints. So there is great merit, which I've been saying, in trying to learn Shamukhi on our side also. Why do I say that? Because large part of discourse in Pakistan, in regional level, in their newspapers, still takes place in Shamukhi. English is only very few people, and Pakistan, those people are even lesser than what we have in India, because education is what it is in Pakistan. So there is great merit in learning Shamukhi, and towards this end, when I got to know, I also didn't know. I must tell you. See, I must flag one. I'll come back to Shamukhi, but before that, let me make it interesting and humorous for you. After 15 years of service, your friend who's speaking to you was selected to go to United Nations Peace Building Mission in Angola. Who was KJ Singh at that time? The person who's speaking to you. He was a competitive staff college graduate. I'm sorry for blowing my trumpet. I had topped nearly all my courses. So I had great pride that I'm a hell of a bloody educated and learned kind of a person. I was commanding a brigade which was battling Khalistanis. I was the brigade major of a brigade which was battling the Khalistanis. So Pakistan Connect was very much there. And my regiment had often been deployed on that border. So first Pakistani I meet after 15 years. And what happens to me? Now it is not so bad because there are so many UN missions happening. But when I meet him, I tell him, जनाब आपका मिजाज कैसा है आपके वतन से पैगाम तो आते होंगे आपका कुनबा तो खुशो खुर्रम होगा एंड ही स्माइलिंग ही सेज बस इतनी ही उर्दू सीखी थी फिल्मों से कानून वक्त ताजमहल इतनी पिक्चरें देखी थी आपको पंजाबी आती है या मुहाजिर हो ऐसे पंजाबी आती है तो फिर बोलो ना पंजाबी नाउ इमेजिन व्हाट अ शॉक यार stereotype in my mind is that Pakistani is the Urdu spewing chap. And for whom do I find? A guy who's speaking to me in Punjabi. For 1 year plus, I was there for about 20 months. After I every time he came to capital, he was posted outside immediately after we met after 4 5 months. I was also outside somewhere. Then I came to capital. I used to keep him in my container. He used to cook for me. I wanted to study this guy. Every time I told him that this ISI has done, he told me, अरे साहब ये तो RNW ने किया है. The same mirror image, it is there. So, Khair, I am not a great expert. I don't claim to be that. I am a great student, I can tell you that. Every month or two, I take out this map I have. I look at Pakistan. Where is Sargodha? Where is Chaklala? I see it because it's not easy to remember. That's why on these, one very famous general of ours came and he said, we have targeted Chagai Hills next to Jacobabad. They are so far apart. So Pakistan is a subject which we can't wish away. We have to know about it. You can choose your friends, but you can't choose your neighbors. They are our neighbors. Now, coming back to Shamukhi. So I convinced somehow the vice chancellor, who was a very positive chap, Professor Grover. He agreed. We went through the mechanics. Everything was done for 5 6 months. all in place to start the first Shamuki course. I had enrolled myself. I wanted to learn also. And then what happened? The VC changed. The next VC who came, he told me, अरे साहब उर्दू सिखा रहे हो बैकडोर से. Come on, sir. We have to learn about our enemy. Back door, front door, side door, rear door, whatever door you want to use. It's a strategic necessity. That course never started. It hasn't started till now. And what happened? You wouldn't believe it. It's uncanny. Within 3-4 months of this, academically news travels. Some professor in some seminar must have mentioned this. Pakistan set up in Punjab University at Lahore a department of
Gurmukhi.
Gurmukhi, Gurmukhi, like Shahmukhi, Gurmukhi, and a chair of Guru Nanak studies. They set up. We haven't done it. Then we say we are reactive here. We are slow. We mix up things. We say everything about Pakistan. This is where now let me transit to the next point. Like there was a phase where all of us thought we knew about Pakistan without knowing, honestly. No, nothing can be known unless you do it in a scientific and proper manner. It's not as if India doesn't try. I must give great credit to Janal Dwivedi. I recently met him after Op Sindoor. He confirmed to me that for planning of this operation, they used red teaming concept. They used people who had served in Pakistan as MAs to see what Pakistan will react as. There's nothing secret about it. They've said it in their briefing also. So desire is there, but we need to put it together properly. And our universities also need to play their part. Everybody has to chip in. This is an important issue. Now, what happened is we then, for so many years, वी फेल्ट पाकिस्तान को हम सॉर्ट आउट कर लेंगे पाकिस्तान को पहले निपट लेते हैं चाइना इज लेटर चाइना इज ए वेरी मैच्योर ग्रेट पावर इट विल नॉट इंटरफेयर when we are dealing with Pakistan and we quoted to ourselves as 65, 71, even sometimes Kargil. But there is a new China, aggressive China, rising China. So in that equation, when we got a jolt in Galwan and uh, Ladakh, we rightly rebalanced to China. We rebalanced, we shifted formations, we we relocated, and we brought a, and it's to that balance that China agreed to de-escalate. Whatever has happened in Depsang and Chumar, Damchok is because of that and that Kailash action. And Yangtze, where after Galwan we gave it back to them. So good. But then what happened? In the process, we decided that let us ignore Pakistan. I have been a great student of Pakistan, or I pretend to be. But I have never, this is also great, our system is. I did my higher command dissertation on Pakistan related. Got award, but they posted me to Nagaland. Thank God, I became an expert in Northeast in some sort of. I learned new things. Then after in NDC, I again did a study related to Islamist extremism. They again never posted me anywhere near that. It is our, but now I'm told system has been refined. I also, as army commander, wrote, and I believe now these things are taken into consideration. So what I'm trying to say is that we should build a pool of experts who then go to Red 4. We have something Red 4 in our track, which is for red teaming. We select right people. We select a person who is going to get next rank so that he doesn't have to worry about agreeing with his boss. Because if you are in red team, you have to articulate what red will do and not try to let blue team win. This is what happened in Kargil. Just before Kargil incursion in a war game, the red team commander, Redland, gave exactly the same plan, which was disregarded. So we need to do this red teaming properly. In my perception, take a major general who is sure to become a lieutenant general so that he doesn't have to look left, right, and this thing. Groom him to become the DGMI or DIA, DGDIA. Let him have 3, 4 years in that slot and use his expertise. I have got one idea. There will be much better ideas people can give us. I am just, I am not current also. I don't know what is the current reality of cadre management. But this must be up so that, and if we feel that, see what happened is, we also felt that we will make Pakistan irrelevant. We will see till we gave this importance to China, our policy was punitive deterrence on Pakistan and dissuasive one or credible one against China. Now we realize that we have to rebalance. So the punitive part got somewhat diluted. So net result is we also decided to ignore Pakistan, make them irrelevant. So how do you make them irrelevant? You close SARC, you sort of don't allow them any space internationally, and you don't engage with them at all completely. Now, here, my dear friends, you may troll me if you wish to. I don't agree with this approach. I feel with your neighbor, you should have some contacts. You can calibrate those contacts. But to say zero contact, and do we really have zero contact? Tell me honestly. Because when China came knocking and when UAE helped us, we renegotiated the ceasefire of 2003 in 2020. That renegotiation couldn't have happened like a magician's act. It required negotiations. They happened in UAE. NSAs must have met. It is all in print media. So, where is the harm in having some kind of, okay, you don't want to have official, like Satinder Lamba was special emissary, appoint one. Like Sajjan Jindal helped contact between Nawaz Sharif and PM Modi. He has some steel business. You can have some people like Ambassador Raghavan. There are a lot of great Pakistani experts. Tilak Devashir. I can name many of them. They are there. One can pick up on them, invest in them, so that we keep the communication channels open. That's very important. And also, recently I said in a program on Afghanistan that, see, before Taliban came to power, all our eggs were in anti-Taliban basket. Tajiks, Uzbeks, Hazaras, Northern Alliance, Amir Saleh, all that. It was there. And we also were somehow with not so Pashtuns like Hamid Karzai, Ashraf Ghani. Now we have done a remarkable thing. We have reopened our channels or established channels with Pashtuns or Pakhtuns or Taliban. So, concurrently, should we disregard Tajiks? Should we just ignore Northern Alliance? Officially, you may have to because Taliban will put it as a precondition. But then India is a vast country. There are enough mavericks like Subramaniam Swamy. There are a lot of people like that who follow independent line. Government can push them, support them. You keep your channels open so that if they regain salience, we have some stake. Similarly, I want to say a lot of my friends who go for track 2 have brought back this message that Pakistan is very riled, very miffed with the fact that we don't even take note of them. We feel they are irrelevant. But, my dear friends, let me tell you one thing. While all of us will be very happy if Pakistan is perpetually in some trouble, but we have to be realistic enough to accept that Pakistan sits on the geostrategic knot or confluence of cultures. Islamic, which has got strands of Turkic, Persian, Saudi, Arabic, then Cynic, China, and then Slavic also somewhere coming from Kazakhstan and all, and of course Indian. So if all these civilizations are getting together there, who will let go of such an area? Certainly, America is not doing it. If we think it's not true, because Trump, one of the few things he did is when he cut aid to all countries, he still gave a package to Pakistan for maintaining F-16s. Recently, World Bank has given them the bailout. $1 billion was given when this conflict was brewing, and now 2.4 is more being given. Recently, Asian Development Bank is also given, despite India's protest. So, for us to imagine that world will just let go of Pakistan is not realistic. Pakistan is a persistent and a prickly problem. It cannot be wished away. You know, when Allama Iqbal said, कुछ तो है कि मिटती नहीं हस्ती हमारी सदियों से रहा है दुश्मन जमाना. The space which he was talking about included Pakistan and India. So for us to only feel that सिर्फ हमारी हस्ती रहेगी is not fair. Look at it from that angle also. That this, who is Pakistan? Bajwa, here, Rathore, Sidhu, all these names are there. They are all these people who adopted Islam. He's a Punjabi who has adopted Islam along with Pashtuns and Balochis and Sindhis who are like. So their DNA is something like us. And their religion has made it more desperate. So if you feel you will deliver some punishment to Pakistan and Pakistan will, no, you'll have to repeat the dose. His capability to bear punishment is more than ours, much more than ours. Have you seen Shias taking out Taziyas? They self flagellate themselves. So their religion is nothing good, bad about any religion, but their religion prepares them for this kind of. So, like in Quranic concept of war, do read it. It's written by a brigadier, which is followed by Pakistan Army. What is the notion of victory? What is the notion of victory? Today, India is celebrating we have won. Pakistan is also celebrating we have won. So, how has Pakistan won? Pakistan has won based on, as per their perception, on the Quranic concept of war. which is resisting a stronger power and retaining the will to fight for another day.
Yeah. It is victory is the concept of continuing to fight irrespective of actual victory.
Yes,
Ability
yes.
to continue fighting. Yeah.
So that is the Pakistan's notion of victory that they are following. So, uh, see, India did a great thing, changed gears. After Uri, we did that surgical raids, coordinated ones. After Pulwama, we did Balakot. We discovered or reiterated space below nuclear threshold. Now we have further reinforced it. But how long will this dose last? That is, we have to remain, we can't let our guard down. And friends, see, earlier it was POK, surgical raids. Then Balakot was POK come Khyber Pakhtunkhwa on some kind of a. Now it is a geographical spread which spreads all across Pakistan. See, gain of uh, Balakot was that there was no attack in hinterland. See, after 2016 or so, there have been no attack in hinterland. Pathankot was one, but it's in that zone. But Pakistan has not dared activate targets in our hinterland, not in Mumbai, not in Parliament. That all has stopped. So we need to, we hope that this dose will last for at least couple of years. And in that time, we will study Pakistan better. We will hone our defenses because he is certainly preparing to do something to us. And we will also prepare instruments which are sharper, and we also have to keep up the act of deniability. I feel very concerned when people say 99 पे बैट कर रहे थे डिक्लेयर क्यों कर दिया. अरे भाई, पाकिस्तान का तो हालत ये है, हम तो डूबे हैं सनम, तुमको भी ले डूबेंगे. What has he got to lose? We are trying to start manufacturing in India, China plus one. In this scenario, do we want a conflict like what is happening between Russia and Ukraine or even Gaza? So, great credit to this government that you finished it on your own terms, 88 hours, and on dominance. And very logical, very correct. So, please don't become immature. I get very worried when people say कि गुरु दक्षिणा में पीओके दे दो. अरे भाई, पीओके कैसे दे देगा कोई? जब पीओके लेना होगा तो फौज लेगी अपने टाइम से, अपने तरीके से तैयारी करके. हमारी गवर्नमेंट उसकी सपोर्ट देगी, अभी तो कोई डाउट नहीं है. बट फॉर एवरीबडी टू स्टार्ट क्लैमरिंग, पुट प्रेशर ऑन द गवर्नमेंट इज नॉट फेयर, इज नॉट करेक्ट. It is not being responsible. Let your government take the call. In any case, will they tell us before doing it? Should they tell us? It's surprise. So when they have to do it, they'll do it. So my friend, friends, my sincere request is that please be, I call it vigilant, Jagruk Hindustani, be citizen warriors, be जिम्मेवार हिंदुस्तान. डू योर ड्यूटीज. यार, सारे दिन हमको, जैसे आप ये आज यूट्यूब देख रहे हो, आपको मजा आ रहा है, गुड, वेरी नाइस, एजुकेट हो रहे हो. आई एम ट्राइंग टू बी एज रीजनेबल एज आई कैन बी. मेरे को भी जोश आता है, लेकिन आई मस्ट कॉशन यू, हाउस द जोश इज नॉट एवरीथिंग, हाउस द होश. कल सवेरे जाके ऑफिस में ये सब बात करने का जरूरत नहीं है. स्कूल में कॉलेज में जाके ये आज शाम को कर लिया, कल गेट बैक टू योर physics, your chemistry, your rare earths, your batteries, your studies, your production. That's important. That's where the country has to head. If we have a strong economy, we'll have strong forces. So, my basic funda is Pakistan is nothing compared to us economically. They are a basket case. We are the fourth largest economy. 4 trillion. So, if that be so, why get involved with him beyond, you know, your strategic and operational experts studying it? Not everybody. It's not their job. You'll get whatever information is given to you. And also have faith in your other strengths, your culture, your politics, your sociological cohesion. Imagine one MP told in Spain that what is the national language of India? And she said unity and diversity. See the composition of these delegations. All communities, all regions represented. So draw in these strengths. Let them feel jealous of it. And don't take your attention away from the critical mission. Viksit Bharat. We have to remain focused on that. And gain, learn from Ukraine, यार. कॉटेज इंडस्ट्री है ड्रोन बनाने की, हमको भी ऐसा ही कुछ करना पड़ेगा. So please, once again, I would, because it's been about 37 minutes. So and I must also tell you something about Pakistan Army because it's important to know. See, Pakistan Army is relevant because of India. We are raison d'etre of their existence. They always want parity. They want to become equal with us. They also want to appear to their own public that every time we give them one slap, they have given us one and a quarter. Quid pro quo plus. झूठ बोल के जो भी करके they have to do that for their relevance. And frankly, before this Operation Sindoor, Pakistan Army stock was down in dumps. Pakistan officer cadre was fighting with each other. Junior officers were up in arms. There were issues. There were corps commanders sacked also for not being loyal enough. And then, what is the status today? Today, the whole nation has rallied behind the Pakistan ki Fauj. Their chief has been made the field marshal. We may say anything, but it is their country, whatever it be. But allow me to tell you, it's a very interesting part of the Pakistani army's history that Ziaul Haq went from Jalandhar. He was a part Punjabi, part Mohajir. He had studied in St. Stephen's College, very savvy college of Delhi. He had been trained at IMA Dehradun and he went to Pakistan. He became their chief. When he became their chief, he also did a coup. He hanged Bhutto, the most popular leader of Pakistan, the guy who made the nuclear bomb. Imagine. And he also never vacated the army house. Army house is located in Rawalpindi. He continued to stay there as president of Pakistan. He refused to appoint a army chief during his tenure. Imagine, this is what the army is there. And so Asim Munir doesn't need to become a field marshal to get additional power. He's got enough power. And Whatever he wants to do, he can do if he wishes. Now, take the second guy, Mirza Aslam Beg. I'm giving four guys who have links to India. Mirza Aslam Beg went from Azamgarh, government college, and all, went to Pakistan, became their chief, and then he started this bloody nonsense in Kashmir. Proxy war in Kashmir was started by him, Mirza Aslam Beg. Mahajir, Urdu speaking. And in any case, like that Pakistani told me, Mahajir, he was not giving me a compliment. Mahajir is a kind of abuse in Pakistan. Misale tum Mahajir ho? They talk like this. So, Mahajir, the second guy. Now let me go to third guy. Parvez Musharraf. Delhi, old Delhi.
Delhi.
Nair wali Haveli. A bureaucrat's son becomes the chief of Pakistan Army. Again does not vacate the army house when he becomes the martial law administrator. And he does Kargil to us. And what is amusing is he also never appointed any army chief till he was forced in the end to appoint Kayani. When he appointed Kayani, now he is the president staying in army house. Where was Kayani staying? Not in army house. Parvez Musharraf didn't give it to him. Ayane Sadar, which is in Rawalpindi, in Islamabad, he never went there. He remained in army house, Rawalpindi. And what is even more surprising, that after he remitted the charge of president, he went on a lecture tour to some country, Saudi Arabia or somewhere. Then Kayani removed his stuff from army house and shifted it to a mess and moved into that house. This is Pakistan, a Mazedar country. You must enjoy these stories and the humor which comes out of it. Now let me come to the fourth guy, the current one. Sayyid Asim Munir. Who's he? He is again from Jalandhar. Same area as Ziaul Haq. Part Muhajir, part Punjabi. His father was Imam of mosque and also principal of a technical school. Asim Munir studied in a madrasa. He went to OTA, which is not their liked academy. He went there and he came out. Didn't do very great appointments, but all his appointments were focused towards India. All of them. He commanded Corps, FCNA, everything, PGS, all looking at India. So whoever was studying him, maybe should have studied him better. He never went to USA for any course. He did his courses in Malaysia, Saudi Arabia. There he took the degree of Hafiz, a person who can recite Quran from the memory. So he was under a lot of pressure because of Imran Khan. Now he thought he has to become relevant. And in any case, see what happened in hijacking of Jafar Express. While India had no role, but Pakistan blamed us. Like my friend in Angola, every time I said ISI, he told me RNW. He called it raw. He also call it raw many times. So he said, नहीं जी raw ने किता है, raw करती रहती है. So they blamed us. Now, hijacking of Jafar Express was not a small incident. It was much bigger than this Pahalgam, I must tell you. Because very large number of Pakistani army people were killed in that. A train had been, and it's not a train which is a normal train. It's a train which runs from Quetta to Peshawar via Lahore and Islamabad. It's like Bharat Mala or Pakistan Mala straddles all this. And there are soldiers traveling in that. So I think our chap should have taken note of it, remained very alert. But I don't say everything can intelligence can pick up. But and I don't I say it openly. I have no ambition to say that you can have foolproof intelligence. No, it's impossible. But every time such a thing happens, we need to be more vigilant. That's the lesson I at least draw from. So, my dear friends, uh, we have a chief across who has been now given the field marshal's rank. He would probably try to justify it to people that he's got this rank and he merits such a promotion. Like Manik Shaw, he can't liberate Bangladesh, but he may be having some plans. We'll have to remain alert to it. We'll have to remain. And the best solution is that we tap the changing mood of Kashmir, because if the local population does not provide support and shelter, terrorism cannot flourish. So, if we can do conflict resolution in Kashmir, it'll be the most wonderful thing. And for that, we should put all hands on the deck. It was a great initiative by Omar Abdullah to go and hold the cabinet meeting there and cycle in Palga with his sons. So, my dear friends, if you get a chance and if you are bold enough, get in a group and try and visit Palga. No harm. Go for Amarnath Yatra, because this message that you will give, I'll tell you an example. When Mumbai attacks happened, BBC was saying that it will take months for India to recoup. But you know what happened? Third day, Mumbai was up and running. That's why I salute Mumbaikars. They have great resilience. They have great spirit of get back to your work. Roti kamani. So I hope this feeling in Kashmir is strengthened and they are also given this Josh. We also support whatever we can. And while you have some Kashmiris visiting you, which happens often, selling shawls and all, don't be harsh to them. They are poor people. They are here for livelihood. Be vigilant, be observant, but don't use a language which uh, makes them against you. Do your transaction properly and remain civilized. This is what our culture teaches us. So, all in all, we are remain optimistic. Very soon, Amarnath Yatra registrations have opened up. If and I have no doubt, India would conduct a very successful Amarnath Yatra with maybe record participation. It should happen. That is how we can help our country. That is how we can go in groups, remain, learn some self defense, so that God forbid if something happens, you know how to cope up with it. And the weak and ladies, take care of them, operate in pairs or groups of four, and don't bunch up beyond a limit. All these things you can learn from any Fauji who lives next to you. Just ask him. And I'll request maybe Jan Shankar to consider educating people on how to do this kind of thing. He can get some good police and army guy. I am not such an expert, I must tell you. But we have to take recourse to these things. We are living with the challenge. And I think I must pause here and give about 10-15 minutes for question answers. And some erudite comments by Jan Shankar, who always puts the icing on the cake.
Thanks a lot, sir. At the outset, I must tell you that you've given a completely different perspective to many things, which we have always been taken for granted. Like you rightly said, everyone in India is an expert on Pakistan, but it is actually not so. And Pakistan has also changed. And like you rightly said, if one had really tracked Pakistan in the past 1 year, in quite a few of the my even podcasts, I've been saying, look, we have to relook at Pakistan. Pakistan is not the same old Pakistan it was 1 year back. In fact, in one podcast with General Hasnain, I went to the extent of saying that the complete Western Front concept has to change. The Western Front has to now hereafter take the encompass the land border of Pakistan and the Northern Arabian Sea, because that thing with China, Pakistan, collusion and things like that will increase. If there's anything, I think that has increased. The kind of collusion which we've seen from Pakistan and between China and Pakistan at this stage, uh, to the extent that there are reports that some of the J-10s were being flown by the test pilots of China and not Pakistan pilots. And today, some of these Pakistani pilots have gone to China to learn about J-31 and 35, whatever it is. So, and the kind of communication collusivity you saw, the kind of ISR collusivity you saw, this will only increase as day goes by. In fact, the stakes for them have increased. So, to that extent, I think there's a lot more we have to learn. What we learned about Pakistan, it'll do us good if we take a lot of things forward. It'll also do us a lot of good if we forget a few things about Pakistan. Those old concepts. We have to start looking at Pakistan anew. I'd like a little comment on from you on this aspect, and then I'll take a few questions. And there are a few interesting questions which will take them.
No, I am completely with you. One thing which we definitely need to completely forget is that China will not intervene uh, when we are having problems with Pakistan. China has very subtle ways to intervene, and help Pakistan. It has done it by providing, and China doesn't is not apologetic about it. They say they are producing aircrafts together. Actually, the heavy industries Texila is entirely the creation of Norinco. The aviation complex at Kamra is entirely the corporation of Chengdu. These are all known facts. And their meshing is more complete. So, to that extent, we must now be very careful. And even somewhere Afghanistan, China is trying to bring it into the equation. Only thing that is to our advantage is that Pakistan lacks the strategic depth. So, to that extent, earlier Pakistan used to look at trying to relocate assets into Iran. Sometimes Jordan also was thought of. Jordanian pilots came. But like what Shankar is saying, one major advantage which Pakistan has is it has inroads into these rich armed forces like Saudi Arabia, Qatar. If you know Rahil Sharif, who was the former chief, he was leading a militia kind of organization in Saudi Arabia. Before that, the Royal Guard was a brigade was provided by Pakistan. So now these people are also training their pilots. So they get access to very high tech platforms like Rafale, like F-16 and all this. So it hones their skills. For us to imagine that Pakistan is a dumb guy is not fair. Is not correct. Let's not live in that delusion kind of a feeling. So let us see. I rarely appear on TV, but when I appear during this time, On two occasions, I had a spat with the anchor because one anchor was saying कि पाकिस्तान जो कुछ नहीं है, जो ये है वो है, ऐसा है वैसा है. I told her, ma'am, let's not misinform people. If Pakistan is not worth fighting, then why would we fight? In my street, there's a beggar who's lying down. Will I go and start eating it? It's a credible threat to us. Let's not live under that impression. And Sun Tzu, Chanakya, all have said that never underestimate your enemy, an enemy like Pakistan. So it is very important for us to remain rooted to reality. Do celebrate your success. Do feel happy about your economic progress, yet remain vigilant.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, sir. I think that clarification at the end was very good. I'm going to put up to first and foremost. Uh, KJS is a gem who understands Pakistan better than the most. Just one terror attack toppled our development apple cart. We'll get to this. There's a contra view. The fascination for Pakistani Punjabi is a weakness of these Sardars. They forget Banda Bahadur and other weaves who fought even under torture, whatever he says. Yeah. So I think you're getting a thing, and I think we need to clarify this. People have to understand. It's not a
No,
fascination for. Let me. It's not a
yeah,
fascination for Pakistan, Punjabis or anything. It's a better understanding of the whole system. At the end of the day, like this chap Shabazz Sharif said, Dushman. He spoke of India as Dushman. Similarly, Pakistan is our Dushman. You have to understand the Dushman to defeat him, right? You have to understand his culture, the way he fights, the way he thinks, the way he lives, the way he sleeps, and the way he begs also. So I think that in that context, sir, I'll give the floor to you.
no, I totally agree with you. I think you have summed it up correctly, and I think nothing more needs to be added. We can take another question.
Right, sir. Uh, yeah, Pakistanis don't have a choice in matter of defense, foreign affairs, and finance, as these are squarely handled by the proverbial deep state. Probably part of policy and budget. Your views, sir.
This is totally correct because see, it is like this. In Pakistan, why only these states? They also decide who will be, which government will be in place, who will win the elections. And if you saw, when Imran went to USA, General Bajwa went along with him. So the footprint of today in Pakistan, agriculture, army is moving in. The part of CPAC conception is that there should be contractual farming. And army is asked for huge big tracts of farms where they will do contractual farming kind of thing, mechanized and all this. Only thing is what is enjoyable is we now have control over water. So that will put them under some strain or pressure. But Thadani sir, you are bang on target that we have a serious problem. Our government change, our policy change. They have a continuity. They have deep memory. So we have to be vigilant. Thank you.
Yeah. Mahesh Pandey says, difficult to agree with the guest speaker. Why should we have any relationship with Pakistan? Typical Punjabi mentality. I don't think so, but I'd like him to answer.
Let me tell him this. Mahesh, who am I? Mahesh, I am a Rajasthani. I lived in Rajasthan, studied in Rajasthan in Chittorgarh. I did not know, I didn't visit Punjab, yaar, till I became an officer. I did not know Punjabi. I knew I can speak Rajasthani to you. काई हाल है थारो? थे मजा में हो? घणो ही चोखो लाग रहे हो मने थारे से बात करके. पधारो सा, बिराजो सा, जीमो सा. I can speak Marwadi very fluently. But then, as an army officer, I felt the need to learn Punjabi. And I bought a primer. I learned Punjabi. I also learned Nagamese when I went to Nagaland. I can speak few sentences of Nagamese to you. Kinika ase, bala ase, kheti beli bisi digdara ase, koima jaibo, bhat khaibo. Like this, I picked a few sentences just to make that initial contact. So, your feeling that I am a Punjabi is not correct, my dear friend. I am a Rajasthani. But I have lived in India, I have worked here, and you have your views. I don't dispute them, Mahesh. But if you have a neighbor who's difficult with you, it will serve you some purpose to know that neighbor's weakness, to know him, to know what how he can harm your interests. And that is what is done through relationship. I'm not saying start puppy jappi or
Hmm.
start trading. No, I'm not saying that. By God, no. I'm not saying that. But do maintain a watch over them. When we have a full embassy, those people are keeping contacts, giving information. So that's why I'm saying, Mahesh. But you have your views, and I concede your views to the extent you feel it is right.
Let me add in a different manner. See, people must understand Pakistan is our neighbor. We are already in a relationship with them, good, bad, or ugly. Okay. And like what General KJ Singh said, we did have a peace kind of a thing for the past 2, 3 years on the LOC. It is not through a, without having a relationship, you couldn't have come through that non-firing agreement on the LOC, which you have now, uh, violated during Op Sindoor, but you have got it back. There's no more firing on the LOC. Right. So there's a relationship going on. If there's no relationship, why should the DGMO speak to our DGMO? The relationship might be bad at this point of time. The relationship will exist. It might be cut off, whatever it is, it'll exist. Well, and especially when two nuclear armed neighbors are there, you need to have a means of communication. You cannot have no means of communications. Whether it is, track one dialogue, track two dialogue, political dialogue, what illicit dialogue, you have to have a dialogue through a mediator. Whatever you like to say, everyone is upset that Trump mediated. Well, in the absence of any capability of talking directly, Trump has to mediate. If not Trump, it was some Xi Jinping. If not Xi Jinping, it was Putin. Some chap had to talk, be the go-between. कि भैया लड़ाई रुकना चाहते हो या आगे बढ़ाना चाहते हो, something like that. So you need to have a relationship. You cannot avoid a relationship with Pakistan. But how you make that relationship work for you is the hallmark. And that is what this today's talk is all about. How do you do this reappraisal of the new Pakistan? And what is the kind of relationship you need to have? This is a very, actually, folks, let me tell you, this is a very subtle kind of a talk we've had. There's a lot of depth in what we have been spoken today, I must tell you. Because when General KJ Singh spoke to me about this thing, I picked it up. I said, I cannot not have this talk on gun a shot. We have spoken a lot of depth today. Okay. So please take it. And I'm sure, those who have some sense will understand what we have spoken. Okay. Now, sir, JBJP is from Punjab. It is Jai Bharat, Jai Punjab. JBJP, people mistake him from BJP, but he is Jai Bharat, Jai Punjab. He says, sir, it is so fulfilling and inspiring to listening to you. A question came to mind. Will our Punjab keep on producing brilliant, inspiring military officers in the future as well? Your views.
Uh, JP, Jai Bharat, Jai Punjab. I want to tell you, I'm a very mediocre kind, lucky kind of a general who reached wherever, and I remain a student. There are much better, much more, erudite generals who are there. Indian Army system is such. So don't worry. Our education system is such. We have series of courses. So I'm sure we are people are up to challenge. You heard our briefings by our DGMO. How nicely he explained. if Lily doesn't get you, Marsh will, or something like this.
Yeah.
Or if you saw that Air, Air Marshal Bharti, how nicely he explained everything. When somebody said that did we hit Kirana Hill, he said, "Thank you for telling me that it's got nuclear." So our people are intelligent, good people. Have faith in them, and they,
Yeah.
what is surprising is JP. It will surprise you to know that current generation of chiefs have come from Sainik schools. You know, Divedi is from Sainik School Riva. I'm being little parochial. Bharti is from Sainik School Purulia, and Tripathi is from Sainik School Riva, and even CDS has studied in, not in some Doon school or something like this. These people have honed themselves. ये भारत की प्रोडक्ट है यार. ये ये
Mm.
फिट हो रहे हैं और कहीं ना कहीं
So don't
प्रॉब्लम
worry.
होती है. वो हम सब बात करके ठीक करेंगे.
Yeah. Okay. The next is we need a professional team to fight a narrative war for India. All political parties have social media teams, right? Why can't the same be for the narrative war? This is exactly what General KJ and I were talking of before we started the discussion, right? We agree with you completely. I'll not take this, but I think it's a very valid thing. That's why I
Very well.
brought it. Yeah. Pak is signaling that Shimla agreement is no more and Western Front is more active going forward. Is the real threat that the Eastern Front with Bangladesh is once more back in the game?
See, Bangladesh is worrying. There is challenge, but the answer to that challenge is once again uh, conflict resolution within. We have largely stabilized uh, large parts of Northeast. There is no uh, insurgency or any such thing in Assam. An odd thing can't be this thing. Arunachal is completely free except for Tirap, Changlang, 2 3 districts where NSCN, an odd incident which happens. Nagaland is like Gundagardi in Faridabad and Gurgaon. Nothing beyond that. Extortion, which happens in many big cities of India also. Manipur is worrying. We need to do something about it. Mizoram has been completely peaceful. Tripura is peaceful, and Meghalaya is peaceful. So, if we see, I must tell you, I when I took over as army commander and I came, I initially went to a war memorial, and over there I was told to make a speech. So I said I must compliment and congratulate Punjabis for one thing. Lot of us give credit to KPS Gill and Punjab police and all for controlling the Khalistani separatist movement in Punjab. But I feel the biggest factor was the population of Punjab, the Punjab's public. When they withdrew support, that movement could not sustain itself. So, if we do apply such solutions, uh, and I have a lot of contacts in Nagaland, they tell me, see, peace is also addictive. It's an addiction. People in Nagaland have got used to peace. Now, nobody can take them back to the insurgency days. It's difficult. So similarly, I'm sure we can do it in Manipur also. Challenging, difficult, but not impossible.
Yeah. Okay, this is just a comment. We'll take it. Lieutenant General Singh is also voicing what Lieutenant General Shankar is raising in the past. Lack of strategic foresight, unified bipartisan support towards strategic security policies. And this is something which we have to build. We have to rethink this whole story, right? And I think after this we have a lot of change in hand, and our threat perceptions, the threat itself has changed. That's the way I look at it. One interesting comment from a Pakistani, which I thought I'll show to everyone. 1 minute, sir. Yeah, let me get it. Uh,
But I want to inform this Pakistani commentator that a lot of these missiles and munitions which come towards Pakistan, Shankar has a role in them. He, he,
What he-
he, he is the technical expert who's guiding. So please beware of him.
Yeah. He says Indian Air Force attacked tunnels in Kirana, Kalachitta, and Chagai Hills. So, and somewhere else he's also said that, look, I have friends there and all that. So there is
See,
some credibility in this. This is coming from across.
but
So
one thing I want to tell you, the person who's asked this question is a Qadiani. So he's obviously an Ahmadiyya
yeah.
who in his own country, either he's somewhere outside
No, he's
or
inside, sir. He keeps
yeah,
coming.
so he's using either a ghost name or something. Qadiani wise he using, but but my friend, like I'll tell you one thing. There is a narrative which people are saying, but allow me to tell you, India is not such a responsible country. Why would we go and hit somebody's nuclear facilities? Why? We ourselves believe that there is a space below the nuclear threshold. Why would we like to activate? So we certainly haven't done it. We have this is a Pakistani ploy to take it to international opinion, show India as a irresponsible nation. India is not. Chagai Hill, nowhere near that. Another place you have said, nowhere near that, no target near that. Okay, your concern about Chaklala, but firstly, if we can deliver such precise strikes, then why would we go and hit some tunnels and all? Why? That doesn't serve our purpose. My dear friends, let me inform you. I know from authoritative source, India is a country of great concern and humanitarian values. Some of our listeners may not like it. India attacked targets between 1 and 2. Why? India attacked them before Fajr ki namaz so that people are not caught in the mosques and we don't end up killing poor namazis. We didn't do it. I'm telling you on authority. So, Markaz-e Subhan Allah in Bahawalpur, Markaz-e Toiba in uh, Muridke,
Murdike.
Muridke, and this Mamoon Zoya in near Sialkot. Their seminaries were hit, and we knew there are mosques, but we have not targeted them at a time when the mosque is full of people, because our aim was not to kill civilians. Our aim was to kill terrorists, and especially terrorists. We got no joy by killing a terrorist who's praying. What joy can we get in that? We are not such a country. We are not like that. And every time we told Pakistan, we don't want to escalate. We only want to take it to your terrorist bases. Pakistan escalated, and we gave it good to them. That's it, yeah.
The last question, I think, is forward looking. How do we prepare for the next battle? What can we change in terms of tactics and strategy to inflict more purposeful pain to change behavior? The current pain inflicted was mainly on PAF, not Pakistan Army.
See, I would not know the answer to all these questions because some of these things are very, very closely guarded and they would not tell us. Even if we are retired, they will not tell us. But if I was to look at it dispassionately from my side, and don't take it as an official thing, we certainly need to further boost up our air defense. We need to, because like they said, defenses are never complete, air defenses are never complete. So you need to boost it up. Second thing is we definitely need to improve our communications, surveillance, and all these kind of command and control interfacing. It was good, but it can be much better. We have to do that. Our desire to unnecessarily start a war and an army may not be required. Have we not activated their army? What do you say when his two brigade headquarters are destroyed? He himself is writing in his dossier. What more are you looking for? What do you say when couple of his border observation posts or border posts are destroyed completely? One less talked about story of this operation is what happened during Shankar's stewardship when he was in RT directorate. We got from America a weapon, gun howitzer system, and it has got an ammunition, very accurate ammunition. It has come in paper also, Excalibur. It has been used to telling effect. So we don't need to unnecessarily get worked up. We have, I think for us, it is a good thing to remain calibrated, give a short dose, effective dose, hone it completely, and don't fall into this trap of getting into an endless war with Pakistan. It will not help us. I told you, Pakistan, हम तो डूबे हैं सनम, तुमको भी ले
तो
डूबेंगे.
हमें तुमके भी
हम
डूबेंगे.
Let's not go for
Yeah,
that.
yeah. You know, the last comment I want to make on that particular question is, how do you fight the next war? Look, if you see, we've always fought the next war better than the last war. That's our Indian history. And that has come by knowledge. And, this whole talk today leads to that. You have to restart thinking, reimagining Pakistan and Pakistan Army, Pakistan Armed Forces. Unless you do that, you have debate on it, unless you have, yeses and nos, both sides, democratic way of thinking, will not be able to, sort them out the next time. Uh, right? Right. So thanks a lot for the
Thank you, sir.
wonderful discourse. And I thoroughly enjoyed your discourse, and we had a very nice interaction with all the questions. And all those of you who are watching, do press that like button, do subscribe to this channel, and
Yes, sir.
send this particular video to all your friends. Because you have to understand this country called Pakistan better. It's not going to run away. You can't wish it away. It might go back down economically. It might go violent from terrorist point of view, whatever it is, but it is there. We have to deal with it. The animal with whom we've been dealing till Op Sindoor doesn't exist anymore. It's a new animal whom you have to deal with, and we have to learn about it. And that's the whole story. So, anything else you want to say? Otherwise, we'll say Jai Hind.
Thank you. Jai Hind, Jan Shankar, as always. Thank you for having me on your platform, and grateful to you for taking this subject. And friends, do subscribe to this channel and be linked with it. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Jai Hind, and thanks to everyone. Good night.